Born on January 11th, we're diving deep into the life of one of America's most brilliant, controversial, and influential founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton. Born on this day in either 1755 or 1757, yeah, even his birth year is a topic of debate. But what isn't up for debate is the massive impact he had on shaping the United States. So let's start at the beginning. Hamilton's origin story is the stuff of legends. Born out of wedlock on the Caribbean island of Nevis, he was orphaned as a child and grew up in poverty. Talk about a rough start, but this kid was a prodigy. He had an insatiable hunger for knowledge and an incredible work ethic. His bosses at a local trading firm were so impressed by his intellect and ambition that they pooled their money to send him to North America for an education. At just 16 or 17, he arrived in New York City, ready to make his mark. He enrolled in King's College, now Columbia University, quickly got swept up in the revolutionary fervor gripping the colonies. Hamilton wasn't one to sit on the sidelines. Started writing powerful pamphlets defending the American cause against the British. When the Revolutionary War broke out, he didn't just write, he fought. He joined the New York Provincial Artillery Company and showed remarkable bravery and leadership. His talents didn't go unnoticed. In 1777, he caught the eye of the one and only General George Washington, who made Hamilton his aide-de-camp. This was a huge turning point. For 4 years, Hamilton was Washington's right-hand man, his trusted confidant. He drafted letters, managed correspondence, negotiated with generals, and gathered intelligence. He was essentially the chief of staff for the Continental Army. This experience gave him an unparalleled behind-the-scenes view of the war, the politics, and the deep flaws of the existing government under the Articles of Confederation. He saw firsthand how a weak central government was crippling the war effort, but Hamilton craved battlefield glory. He eventually persuaded Washington to give him a field command. At the decisive Battle of Yorktown in 1781, Hamilton led a heroic charge against a British redoubt, a key moment that helped secure the American victory. He emerged from the war a celebrated hero. With the war over, Hamilton turned his attention to law and politics. He became a lawyer in New York and was elected as a delegate to the Congress of the Confederation. But he was deeply frustrated by its powerlessness. He knew America needed a stronger, more effective national government to survive and prosper. This conviction led him to become a driving force behind the Constitutional Convention of 1787. While his own proposals for an almost monarchical president and senators serving for life were considered too extreme, his presence and powerful arguments were crucial. After the Constitution was drafted, the real fight began, getting it ratified by the states. This is where Hamilton truly shone. Teaming up with James Madison and John Jay, he co-authored the Federalist Papers. This collection of 85 essays is one of the most important works of political philosophy in American history. Hamilton wrote a staggering 51 of them. In these essays, he brilliantly argued for the necessity of the new Constitution, explaining its principles and defending its structure. The Federalist Papers were instrumental in persuading the public, especially in the crucial state of New York, to ratify the Constitution. Without Hamilton's tireless advocacy, the United States as we know it might not exist. Once the new government was established, President George Washington tapped his most trusted wartime aide for another critical role, the nation's first Secretary of the Treasury. This is where Hamilton's vision for America really took shape. The country was broke, its credit was a joke, and the economy was in shambles. Hamilton rolled up his sleeves and got to work. He proposed a bold and controversial financial plan. First, he argued that the federal government should assume the massive war debts of the states. This would bind the states to the national government and establish the nation's creditworthiness. Second, he called for the creation of a national bank, the Bank of the United States, to manage the government's finances, issue currency, and provide loans to spur economic growth. And third, he advocated for tariffs and subsidies to protect and encourage American manufacturing. Hamilton's vision was of a powerful industrial nation with a diversified economy and a strong central government, much like Great Britain. This put him in direct opposition to Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, who envisioned an agrarian republic of independent farmers with limited federal power. Their clash was epic. It wasn't just a policy debate. It was a fundamental disagreement about the soul of America. This conflict gave rise to the nation's first political parties, Hamilton's Federalists, and Jefferson's Democratic Republicans. Despite fierce opposition, Hamilton, with Washington's backing, succeeded in implementing most of his plan. He put the United States on a firm financial footing, restored its credit, and laid the groundwork for its future as an economic powerhouse. His work as Treasury Secretary was, without a doubt, revolutionary. But Hamilton's career was also marked by scandal. In 1791, he had an affair with a woman named Maria Reynolds, whose husband then blackmailed him. When his political enemies accused him of financial corruption, Hamilton, to clear his name of any official wrongdoing, published a pamphlet admitting to the affair in excruciating detail. It saved his public reputation for financial integrity, but deeply damaged his personal one and humiliated his wife, Eliza. After leaving the Treasury Department, Hamilton remained a powerful figure in the Federalist Party. His life took its final tragic turn through his long-standing rivalry with Aaron Burr. Both were ambitious New York lawyers and politicians, and their animosity grew over many years, fueled by political and personal insults. The final straw came in 1804 when Burr, then the vice president, ran for governor of New York. Hamilton actively campaigned against him, believing Burr was a dangerous and unprincipled man. After Burr lost, he challenged Hamilton to a duel, citing comments Hamilton had allegedly made. On the morning of July 11, 1804, in Weehawken, New Jersey, the two men met. Hamilton, possibly intending to fire into the air, was shot by Burr and died the next day. It was a tragic and senseless end for a man who had given so much to his country, who was only in his late 40s. Alexander Hamilton's legacy is immense and complex. He was an immigrant who rose from nothing to become a key architect of the American Republic. His financial system created the framework for American capitalism. His advocacy for a strong federal government continues to shape political debates to this day. He was a brilliant, driven, and often arrogant man whose foresight was matched only by his ambition. For a long time, his contributions were overshadowed by other founders like Jefferson. But thanks to historians, and of course the phenomenal musical Hamilton, his star has risen once again. So on his birthday, let's remember Alexander Hamilton, the orphan, the soldier, the statesman, the visionary. A man who, despite his flaws, truly believed in and fought for the future greatness of the United States. What do you think is his most important contribution? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this dive into history, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this. We'll see you in the next video.